Hey guys, and welcome back to Z3 Cubing. Today I'm going to show you the WOWCube, the electronic 2x2 with screens instead of stickers. Today, we're going to be unboxing perhaps the most impressive thing I have ever seen in the world of smart cubes. In fact, I'm not sure it's even fair to call this a smart cube because it does so much more than just connect to your phone over Bluetooth. This is the WOWCube, and here's the concept. Take a 2x2 Rubik's Cube, but then replace all of the stickers with screens. Crazy, right? And if 24 individual screens doesn't sound crazy enough, just think of this. Each piece on a Rubik's Cube is pretty much separate from all the others, and so in each piece, you not only need 3 screens, but also a battery and a processor to drive the screens. So needless to say, I am very excited to see how they managed to pull this off. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So on the box, it of course says WOWCube Entertainment System. It also shows what's included. So the cube itself, a charging station, some cables, and a gift card to buy games. We'll have to see what that's about. The way this box opens looks pretty cool, so that's always a bonus. It looks like this outer box here has some pictures of the kind of things that you can do on it, so we'll definitely be checking those out. Well, first there's the gift card and some instructions in this box here, and here it is. This thing is a lot bigger, heavier, and a lot more premium looking than I was expecting, with all the glass and rounded edges, just like a smartphone, or as if you packed a bunch of smartphones into the shape of a cube. Yeah, even without it turned on, this thing feels like no other Rubik's Cube in your hands. It feels very high quality, but also the kind of thing I would want to set down very carefully. So let's go ahead and look back at the box to see. Here is the charger, as well as some boxes with other accessories on the inside. I imagine the cable and the charging brick. Yeah, so there's a US charging brick with European adapter that works with this nice braided USB-C to C cable that plugs into here. And then I believe the way you charge it is just by stretching out the cube a little bit and then sliding it right onto these charging contacts. And there we go, plug that in and it's charging. And in the box there also came a replacement 2x2 core and screwdriver. I'm not exactly sure why you need another one of these, but that suggests to me that they're okay with you taking the cube apart, and so that's definitely something I'm going to be doing later in the video. Now they also sent this little carrying case with some other accessories, but I think we better check that out later because it is time to check out the functionality of the cube itself. I am very excited for this. The first thing I want to know is, what does it do before you've connected a smartphone? So let's go ahead and do a couple turns on it. Oh my gosh, that is very clicky, but in a very weird way. It is pretty smooth, and it has this nice snap when you finish a turn, but it also has this incredibly satisfying clicky crunchy feeling as you're turning it, which I think are caused by the ball bearings on the inside used as electrical contacts between the pieces. Alright, I changed up the camera angle and lighting just to make the screens more visible and with less glare. I got the cube to turn on the first time just by plugging it in, and I believe now we can do a turn on it to turn it back on. So here is, I guess, sort of the home screen with all the app icons all around the cube. And of course, because it's a Rubik's Cube, you can rearrange the app icons just like that. It really is hard to express just how technologically impressive that is for half of the cube to be momentarily disconnected from the other half of the cube, but it still remains functioning just like it was before. Now you may have noticed that as I'm moving the cube around in my hand, different apps are becoming selected. Basically, it uses a gyroscope to know whichever app is on the top of the cube right now, and it'll go ahead and select that one. Now that's because, unlike, say, a smartphone, these screens are not touch screens, which may sound like a bummer at first, but realize that, for one, that would make the cube way more expensive, and two, you'd be accidentally touching all the screens all the time, and so it wouldn't actually be all that useful. Instead, they very creatively use some other forms of input, like rotating the cube to select different apps. I believe shaking the cube exits an app, or once you have an app selected, you can just physically tap the cube a couple times to enter the app. So this is the classic cube mode. So this side of the cube says tutorial mode, whereas this side of the cube says classic mode, which I think is what we want. So let's double tap to start. And it says on here that Alex is number 1, which is obviously correct. And I think we have to turn it to start a new solve. Now it says triple tap to shuffle, so let's do that. And there we go. Now it is all scrambled. Let's go ahead and do some inspection here. Got a nice easy green side. And okay, 3, 2, 1, and go. Here we go. Let's do this OLL here. And for our PBL, we have the worst possible one. Let's just do a Y-perm. And there we go. So that was 11 seconds. That was pretty slow, 30 moves. That was quite the wild experience, I will say. It's like a virtual cube in that it scrambles itself and everything, but it's still a physical cube in that I am turning it. I still haven't quite gotten the hang of what exactly it takes to tap it. It takes a decent bit of force, but I think I'm getting used to it. So let's go ahead and do this one more time. I'm going to do the blue side here. 3, 2, 1, and go. There we go. Nice easy case again. Let's get a better PBL though. And yeah, it's nice and easy. And it is sort of speed solvable, so that's 7 seconds and 23 moves. Obviously, you shouldn't expect to average anywhere near what you normally do on a 2x2, but it's still a fun experience. Anyway, I think we just have to shake the cube to go back to the home screen. Yep, there we go. And now we can try out some of these other apps here. First, the real basic ones. So what is Night Lamp? Let's find out. Okay, that is quite the night lamp. Okay, let's go ahead and do a turn. And it just sort of changes the pattern. Oh, does it make it different? Oh my gosh, that is quite the pattern. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, I'll admit. Okay, that's pretty cool and kind of hilarious. So what other things can we find on here? So Butterflies is a pretty simple game that I've seen a demo of before. So let's try that out. So it's just loading real quick here. And now we have the different modes that we can select. So let's do classic mode. Let's double tap that. Now this time Alex is in 5th, which is obviously incorrect, but let's go ahead and twist to start. And now basically the idea is that we have two halves of a butterfly. In this case, we can connect them just like that. So the aim is to connect the two halves together, I guess in as little time and as few moves as possible. So let's twist to go to the next level. Right here, we just have these two. That takes 3 moves, pretty easy. Next level here, and now we have 2 different sets. So let's maybe do this red one first, and then the green one, kind of like that. And this is already kind of fun. I could do this for a long time. So let's maybe connect these red ones first like this, and then we can connect the green ones like this. And now the blue ones will be a little bit tricky because we have to swap these 2 corners. So let's maybe just do like a J-perm, kind of pretending like we're doing last layer. And there we go. Now we solved it in 16 moves. And as you can see, it gets a lot harder very quickly. Now we have 4 different colors. So this is a game that a non-cuber could have a lot of fun with, but having just a little bit of cubing knowledge like that J-perm there definitely helps out a lot. So a pretty cool concept. Okay, now let's try 2048. I kind of like the normal version of this game, so I'm excited to see what it's like on top of Rubik's Cube. It looks like Alex is in 5th again. I don't know what's up with that, but let's go ahead and twist to start. So it looks like everything is a number to start out with. I'm not really sure what's up with that. Let's go ahead and twist some things. Whoa, okay, so things combined. I don't exactly understand the logic yet, so let's figure it out. If we have like 2 4s right here, and we turn them, yeah, then they combine together to an 8. Can we then turn it onto the other side of the cube? No, it stays on that side of the cube. Oh, I get it. If we wanted to move this 8 next to this one, we'd have to physically turn the cube so that they're next to each other and then combine them. But as you're turning the cube, you're also adding more tiles randomly, and so you could potentially mess things up while you're doing that. So it looks like we got 32 right here. Yeah, this is really hurting my brain just coming from the normal game. Like I just tried to combine those 2 pieces and it definitely didn't work, but I could combine these 2 pieces right here. Like this. I think I'm starting to understand the rules now, and yeah, I could definitely play this game for a long time. So we've made another 32 right there. Let's try and combine that with the other one like this. And there we go, 64. Yeah, this is actually more interesting than I thought it'd be. Anyway, before we get too carried away with that, let's check out maybe 1 or 2 other games just to give you an idea of what is on here. Now, they're also releasing a development kit so that anyone can make apps for this cube and presumably sell them on some sort of app store. And so eventually there should be unlimited options. But just at launch, there already seems to be a very big library of games on here. So let's go ahead and try out maybe Steampipes. That sounds interesting. Moving pipes around a cube to connect them up, I would guess. Yeah, so it looks like these ones right here need to connect up to these ones right here. So that would be just like inserting a corner, kind of like this. And there we go, we got that level complete. Okay, this one looks a little bit trickier because I can't immediately see the pattern right off the bat. But let's just go ahead and connect up this one right here to the ones that are already connected. But that's wrong because there's nothing else left on the cube and these 2 still need to connect. So let's try something different like connecting these 2 and hopefully figure this out through some trial and error. And there we go. So we made a little loop there and I think that is correct. So yeah, just like on the other games, we're only on level 2 and this is already getting pretty tricky. And oh my gosh, there's like multiple junctions and everything. That's going to be impossible. Okay, I think I figured it out. That was not all that easy. That took me 22 moves. But just the idea of a puzzle game where all the pieces are moving around physically, yet it's all controlled by a computer, which is able to generate new patterns in real time. That is just such a cool concept and opens up so many possibilities just when it comes to totally new types of games. Anyway, one of the games that they have definitely showed off a lot is Cut the Rope. I vaguely remember this from back in the day. Looks like Alex has dropped down to 7th. I don't know what's going on, but let's go ahead and play this game and see what happens. Okay, so we have this little candy thing on a rope and we have to get it down to this guy. So we tilt the cube to put it through that hole there. And then I believe to cut the rope, we literally just turn the cube. And oh my gosh, that is cool. And then we tilt it down in there and there we go. We got the first level. That is clever. Oh, we only got 1 star though. I guess we got to make sure to get those next time. So here we go. Next level. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of sides. Oh, that got complicated. So I guess we go ahead and cut the rope like this. And then I want to go ahead and get this star, but I'm not exactly sure how. What if we just put it in this corner here and then we rotate this around? Yeah, like this. And now we can drop the ball through this little hole right here and then through this hole to grab the star. Oh my gosh, that was complicated. Now it looks like this other star requires going through this special hole from a different piece on the cube. So let's go ahead and maybe get that hole over to here. And then we can drop the ball through that hole just like that. And now, oh my gosh, it's perfectly blocked. Well, I didn't see that coming. Instead, it looks like we have to line up the correct adjacent squares like this, not touch the spikes, and now we can go around that way. go through the hole, and wait, where is the other side of the hole? And now we can finally go and grab the star, except we still have to be really careful to avoid those spikes there. Okay, now where is the last star? Okay, I went back through the hole again, and now we just have to do something like this, and then this, to get that lined up. And there we go, we can get the last star, except we have to be very careful to avoid those spikes there. Okay, I got it. So now we can go back into this other room because it has a more convenient opening, do a little turn like this. I think that sets it up to deliver the candy correctly. Okay, that was a much more difficult second level, but there we go, 3 stars. So that should give you a great idea of just how many unique new puzzle concepts this cube can lead to, using the gyroscope in combination with turning the cube for multiple different mechanics, and I'm sure as they introduce more in later levels of the game, it'll get even crazier. So let's see, is there anything else in this cube that is worth trying out? Actually, I just went ahead and downloaded the Bluetooth smartphone app. I can't believe there's so much functionality on this thing that we haven't even needed it yet. But it looks like once it finishes syncing, you can look at your battery life, manage your apps, probably download and buy new ones too, add a screensaver, change your volume and your brightness, as well as a few other options. There's also a widgets app on here. I'm not sure if it's fully functional yet, but there is a demo, so let's go ahead and click on that. And basically what this does is shows you a bunch of widgets from your phone, so like notifications and such. Again, this is just a demo. I do not live in New York, but presumably you'd be able to manage this kind of stuff in the app eventually. But yeah, the possibilities on this thing really are just endless. I could spend another 20 minutes in this video just playing all the different games, that is, as long as the battery doesn't run out. I've been recording with this cube for 2 or 3 hours now, starting at 100% battery, and there's still a little bit left. They advertise up to 5 hours, so it's probably a little bit less than that, but the cube is noticeably warm, so obviously it takes a lot of power to drive all these screens. Anyway, let's go ahead and hit the power button here. I think it works just like any other app. And there we go, the cube is once again off. So now we can finally go check out this carrying case slash box of accessories. I believe this is all sold separately, but let's see what's inside. So first we have these little rubber bumpers in a variety of colors. So basically these have adhesive on them and you can stick them to the corners of the cube, just like putting a case on your phone. Of course, you'd probably buy a set of all the same color. I think they just wanted to show off their variety. So we got a few shades of purple and red. We got orange, yellow, blue, and green. Actually, I just checked the website and they also have white, black, gray, and a few other colors too. And this is pretty cool. They also sell replacement pieces of the cube, and so if you manage to break one of them, like by dropping it on a corner, you can just take that piece out and swap it with a new one. So that's awesome. And it looks like in this box here, they also sent another gift card, as well as some real mini keychain 2x2s. So they're like picture cubes that are themed to match some of the games on the cube. I guess we only played this one. Let's see how they turn. Absolutely terribly. That's what I expected. And finally, the carrying case itself comes with room for the cube itself right here, as well as the charging brick, the charger like this. Okay, this seems like a bit of an oversight. I can't seem to fit them both in at the same time. It doesn't fit in that direction. So let's swap it out with a smaller charging brick and put the charger in there. Of course, you can zip your cable up in there and close everything shut. So yeah, that's pretty handy for carrying it around without breaking anything. And now, I promised to do this before the end of the video. I want to go ahead and take this cube apart. So let's turn 2 sides and open up a little gap. I can just barely see the screw down there. Let's stick the screwdriver in and unscrew. Well, their included screwdriver was impossible to hold on to, so I found a backup. Anyway, I think that's unscrewed now, so let's go ahead and pull it apart. And there we go. That is cool. So you can see, of course, just the basic 2x2 core and mechanism. So this is an edge piece right there. These are the centers. And of course, these big pieces are the corners. I think all 8 pieces are pretty much identical. Of course, on each of the inner sides, we have these 2 magnets so that the pieces snap together like this. And we also have these 4 little ball bearing type pieces, which serve as electrical contacts between the 2 pieces so that they can send power and data back and forth and have everything on the screen sync up with each other. Funnily enough, each piece also has this little micro USB port. I'm not sure if you can use that to charge or if that's just for debugging or what. Imagine if you had to charge it by having 8 micro USB cables sticking out of the cube. That would be hilarious. So that leaves one more issue still on the table. The price. And unfortunately, in the world of twisty puzzles, I think we're approaching the point of, if you have to ask, this might not be for you. It's not completely clear from their website, but I've seen some people say that this will retail for $250, which, yes, is a lot for a twisty puzzle, but considering the technology inside of this thing, I think a lot of people saw that coming. I mean, in comparison, the first normal smart cubes were about $100, and this thing is just a piece of plastic with a single processor, a single battery, and some sensors in it, so you multiply that by 8 and add a bunch of screens, and $250 starts to seem a little bit more reasonable. So yeah, your average cuber probably isn't going to buy one of these. It is not designed to be a speed cube, and you can tell just by looking at it. But if some of those games and features, or even just the novelty of it, seem worth it to you, then I could absolutely recommend the WOWCube. Even just from a technological perspective, this is an incredible product, unlike anything I have ever seen before. Sure, it does have some minor flaws as well as a high price tag, but you really are getting something utterly unique in the world of cubing. As for me, I'm definitely going to spend some more time on a lot of those games, and I'm really excited to see how this product does into the future. But yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed this video and are as amazed as I am, but that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys next time.